This comment made me think of the game that I'm about to show you guys. Two grandmasters playing King's Indian defense, and you can see how they went from the black pieces losing to getting three queens on the board. And this is very important because if you are a King's Indian defense player, you need to understand the dynamics, the nature of this opening. We typically go with everything we've got on this king side attack, sacrificing pieces, and if our attack fails, then we're more likely gonna lose the game because we just are down material. In this case, black pieces got to this point where their attack was paralyzed and now they're down a bishop and they are down a passed pawn. So feel free to pause the video, try to come up with your next move, with your plan, and whatever you get, let me know in the comments, guys, because I want to know where we are at this point in the course, understanding these plans and ideas. With that said, the only thing we could do here as black is to bring the only piece that is doing nothing. And I know a lot of you are going to be thinking, of course, now that you said it, I'm just going to go rook b7, bring the rook to the king side. But no, guys. In reality, we got to do like we do with the knight when we're trying to improve a knight, right? We think, what would be the best square for that piece? If it were floating in the air and I could just place it anywhere, where would I put it? If I had this knight and I wanted to improve it, well, maybe I want to get to e3. How do I get to it, right? Or maybe d4. Now, with the rook, I wish my rook could land on c2 on the 7th rank. And that's why they continued with rook b7 with the idea of playing rook c7, rook c2. Now, white pieces go rook d1, then we got rook c7, pawn to a6. Of course, they're going to try to push the pawn not only to promote, but at least to keep this rook in place. And now, of course, rook to c2. Guys, before we do this move, we have to calculate. So if I'm reviewing a game like this, even though the notation is saying, oh, rook c2 was played next, I want to pretend like I'm playing this game and calculate. If I were playing this and I think of rook c2 sacrificing the rook, let me calculate everything. What if they push the pawn? What if they take the rook? And so on. Something very interesting here is that because of this typical maneuver of moving the bishop to f8 to bring the rook around, this bishop is now preventing this pawn from promoting with a check. So that could give us even more time. Now, if rook c2, queen c2, we gotta calculate after knight f3. I did this when I was reviewing this game, and even though I got something pretty good, I did not find the strongest continuation. So put in some work, spend 5-10 minutes. That's what's gonna get you the most out of this exercise. So after rook c2, white pieces took on c2, and now, of course, we got knight takes f3. So I calculated this. I'm pretty sure all of you did. Now, forget about taking on g2. We got queen h2 coming. We take and probably checkmate afterwards. So instead, they decided to go king f1. And again, I hope that you try to do it in your head before you actually continue with the video. Because now, believe it or not, there's only one move that allows the white pieces to get an advantage, which is like 5-6 points of advantage for black, but it's not the most natural move. I'm pretty sure that all of you considered queen h1. At least I did, and queen h1 actually does not work. The move that works, guys, and powerful idea is knight d4. And basically what we're doing is we're controlling everything. We're threatening checkmate on the following move. And if queen g2, well, we got f3. And if instead they take on d4, we also got f3 and then checkmate. And guys, this is something that we get a lot in the King's Indian defense. We need to be familiar with this. Many times it comes in the form of us doing some check, we collect these pawns, and then we get two connected pass pawns, right? So anyways, in this game, the black pieces, after king f1, instead of the powerful knight d4 to play f3, queen h1, they just played queen h1, then king e2, knight d4, they took f3 now, and then after f2, notice how these pawns are about to promote. Now, let me go back just a little bit to show you the problem with queen h1 right away. After king e2, knight d4, rook d4, f3, they should have played, instead of king d3, they should have played king d2. But again, this is what I tell my students. When you are defending, it's not so easy to find the right moves, guys. And that's why soon we're going to be talking about how to defend and so on. But always keep that in mind. If you have the opportunity to attack, don't assume your opponent is always going to find the best defensive move. It's not so easy. So anyways, going back, they played king d3, f2, second queen gets on the board, rook d3, we push the next pass pawn, and after king b5, we get 3 queens on the board. To me, guys, this is very interesting because, again, these are very strong grandmasters, and seeing so many queens on the board is not usual. So let me show you how the game continued. We get knight c4, queen f to f2, queen b3. Let's simplify the game. If we get rid of their queen, then much easier. We take, then queen c2, pinning and also forking these 2 pieces. Then king moves, bring the queen around, queen d4, and at this point, the white pieces simply resign. So there you have it, guys. I wanted to show you not only because of this interesting position that they got, but also for you to see how when you play the King's Indian defense, even when you're losing, there are tactics, there are ideas in the air if you're that creative. So with that said, let me know in the comments if you have seen this game before or if you were able to find this maneuver on your own. With that said, I will see you in our next lesson.